Hi, this is Outdoor Nature Adventure Ministry, or Outdoor Nature Ministry, and I'm going to read from Second Enoch because a lot of people don't realize how old the Earth really is, and this explains a lot of why God is doing this. But as you know, God made the world in 7 days, and so this is about the 7 days. And I appointed the eighth day also, that the eighth day should be the first centered created after my work, and that the first seven revolve in the form of the 7,000 years, and that at the beginning of the 8,000 there should be a time of not counting, endless, with neither years nor months nor weeks nor days nor hours. And now, Enoch, all that I have told you, and all that you have understood, all that you have seen of heavenly things, all that you have seen on earth, all that I have written in scrolls by my great wisdom, all these things have I devised and created from the uppermost foundation to the lower, to the end, and there is no counselor nor inheritor to my creations. I am self-continuous, not made with human hands, and without change, or not made with, or yeah. My thought is my counselor, my wisdom, and my word are prepared, and my eyes observe how all things stand here and tremble with terror. If I am away, if I turn away my face, then all things will be destroyed. And apply your mind, Enoch, and know him who is speaking to you, and take there the scrolls which you yourself have written. He wrote a whole bunch of scrolls, by the way. There was a time when the when he brought a couple of people along with him, and they wrote a whole lot of scrolls of the wisdom of heaven and different things. So, and Enoch was supposed to pass them on. And I give you Samuel and Raguel, who led you up. Those are messengers. Samuel and I don't know how to pronounce his name. Who led you up in the scrolls, and go down to the earth, and tell your sons that all I've told you, and all that you have seen from the lower heaven up to my throne, and all the troops. For I created all forces, and there is none that resists me, or that does not subject himself to me. For all subject themselves to my monarchy, and labor for my sole rule. Give them the scrolls of the handwriting, and they will read them, and will know me as the creator of all things. Sorry. And will know me as creator of all things, and will understand how there is no other God but me. And let them distribute the scrolls of your handwriting, children to children, generation to generation, nation to nations. And I will give you Enoch, my intercessor, the chief general Michael, for the handwritings of your fathers Adam, Seth, Enos, Canaan, Mahalalel, and your father Jared. And it says that they have rejected my commandments, and my yoke. Worthless seed has come up, not fearing God, and they would not bow down to me, but have begun to bow down to vain gods, denied my unity, and have laden the whole earth with untruths, offenses, abominable lecheries, namely one with another, and all manner of other unclean wickedness, which are disgusting to relate. And therefore I will bring down a deluge on the earth, and will destroy all men, and the whole earth will crumble together into great darkness. He's talking about the great flood. So a lot of people don't think that Enoch is part of the Bible, but my question becomes, if God didn't exist, how did we start? If God didn't exist, how were things created? And because they have never been able to reproduce how supposedly we got oxygen, how supposedly the floods happen. Enoch passed this on to Methuselah, and then to Noah. I think I can't remember if Methuselah, or yeah, I think that's it. I can't remember the different people, but yeah, it basically was passed down to Noah. And it also says in the book of Revelation that we'll again live in the times of Noah, which we are right now, because we live in a land filled with abominable things, where people are sleeping with people, where people are sleeping with beasts, where we are, if you've ever heard CRISPR, we're altering the genetics that God gave us. We have hybridized just about every plant and creature out there. We've caused abominable things to happen. There's been scientific experiments on all kinds of creatures made from humans. There are creations out there that we have no idea about. Enoch also talks about how God made the invisible, how he made, right here, it says, then I can, and it says, I blessed all my creatures, visible and invisible. And Adam was in paradise for 5.5 hours, and I blessed the seventh day, which is the Sabbath. So, the 6,000 years is how long the earth was deemed to last. Adam was given a timeline also of like I think it's either 5,000 or 5,500 years, and then he would be back in the garden, which he is now. But the creation follows 7 days. Seven is completion. There were like 7 years of Jubilee, and then we were supposed to have a year, or the 6 days, and then we were supposed to have like a year where we allowed everyone to go back and to undo all the issues and undo all the debt. So God sees 7 as being the end of completion. So we are very, very close to year 6,000. And if you think about it, I think Jesus was killed, I think, when he was about 30 years old. And so if you take into that consideration, it's a year, so 2030 would be my guess to be the end of this earth. Or possibly even 2033. I don't know how old Jesus was, and that plays into it. But there were 4,000 years before Jesus was put onto the scene. So the last 2,000 years have been run. So we are very, very close to the time of the end. And then you have the 1,000 years. So the 7,000. So if we're at 6,000, there's a 1,000-year millennial reign that the book of Revelation talks about. So it lines up. And then the 8,000 year is when there is no time, and basically all the people that have given themselves over to God and followed His rule and His way will live with Him forever and ever and ever. And I made a revelation the other day, and I guess I'll go into it. When I look at the Bible and see the things of the Bible, if you're not following the Bible, like if you're just playing around with sin, and it says that I take care of my chosen, like the people that are truly in my hand, I will take care of. It doesn't say if you are not, or if you're sinning and whatever, that that these things are. It's kind of like if you're a evil, or not evil, but if you are a son or daughter, and you basically rebel against your father or mother, your father and mother are going to withhold good things from you. And the blessings of God go to people that deserve it, people that are giving of themselves, people that are doing the right thing. And also in the Bible it says, if you love me, you'll keep my commandments. It doesn't say once saved is always saved. It doesn't say you'll be prosperous. It does say that if you bless others, then God will bless you, running over and all that good stuff. So that this is the book of Enoch, and it's really interesting. I would strongly recommend reading it. There's things in here that talk about how the four winds are created. It talks about how the foundations and how the sun and moon are pulled by chariots and by different things across the sky every day, and it gets its light from fires every day. It goes to a place where somehow it gets fires in order to burn brightly. And the sun is not as far as you think. And if you look at the rays, notice how they are. I mean, if you have a really far away sun, I mean, you can do this thing with a flashlight. If you take a flashlight and you basically, and you have a ball over here, and if you have a flashlight and you take it way back, like here, you can see that the lines are going straight to wherever. But if you have a ball that's circling over the Earth, so let's say this is the Earth. If you have a ball that's circling over the Earth and it's right over it, the rays are going to come down in a shape where it's spread out. And if you look at the sun, if you see it go through clouds and stuff, you'll notice the rays do this. They don't do this, because if it was far away, the further away, you could do this with a flashlight. And you'll see that the further away that a flashlight is from the ball, all the rays will line up and go one single direction. But if it's right over it, over the top of it, and basically producing the light, it's going to go all, like, every single way. So we live inside of a big dome. In the book of Genesis, it even says that I separated the waters from heaven from the waters of earth, and made a firmament. So that firmament is where we live, and it says I created land in the firmament. So God created the land, which I guess science would call Pangea. And then when the flood happened, that's when Pangea split big time and went all crazy. And so that's how we get the continents today, because it was one big mass back in the day. So I think we're going to find out some very interesting things when we get to heaven about where things actually are and where the Garden of Eden is. For all we know, it could be in North America. Sorry, my nose is going crazy. But anyway, thank you for joining me. I'm going to continue doing different videos of different things, but I just thought that was interesting with that 7,000 years. Because in God's mind, 7 means like completion. So if 7,000 is completion, day 6 would be the 6,000. So you have 6 days of work and having the earth sort of 6,000 years, because it says a day is like 1,000 years to God. And so the 7th day, the Sabbath, is a day of rest, which is the millennial reign, which God comes down and reigns with, because that's essentially what the Sabbath is all about, where we're supposed to, on the Sabbath, we're not supposed to be doing anything. Our focus should be on God and His Word and worshiping Him and doing things of Him and helping people around us. If you're using the Sabbath as a way of catching up with everything and doing stuff like working and doing chores and going shopping and that type of thing, that's not what the Sabbath was made for. It was made as a day of rest. It was made as a day of reflection and basically looking to God and thanking Him for what He's done. So thank you for joining me. I know I've gone a little bit over, but thank you for joining me. Have a great day or night.